Hey guys, John Grimsmo here, bringing you another shop vlog from Grimsmo Knives. I haven't filmed in like 6 days. Been super busy, having a lot of fun. I did a whole bunch of current stuff without filming it, so I'm sorry you missed it all, but trust me, there's a lot more cool stuff coming up. Just in the mail today, based on, like I mentioned before, on the floor here, the epoxy coating, a lot of you guys are asking like how it's holding up in the shop. Relatively awesome. But here, where all the little dirt stuff comes off the bottom of my shoes, all little grits and dirt and sand and whatever just from outside, it settles here where I hang out most of the time, and then the office chair just rolls it all around and like micro scuffs the floor. It's not the best. So based on some suggestions, on Amazon I got some rollerblade wheels, which apparently will just clip right in. Apparently these are softer, they have a less contact area, they do less scuffy damage to the floor. And also apparently it turns the chair into a speed machine, and you'll crash into stuff every time you push off like you're not used to. So I'm looking forward to that. And then just got a package from my buddy Brick Tactical. Some Lego figures in there. And oh, so much more. Okay, what else? Check this out. Give you an under the armpit view here. So I finished making those clamps that I was stressed about the other day. They worked awesome. I tabbed them. They were beautiful. Maybe Fraser can show well, I'll send Fraser an Instagram clip about the tab finish. It was awesome. So we have some Rask handles mounted up right now. They are ready to be machined. I have no code to cut the Rasks yet, but I'll start picking away at it. And today I'm going to throw some tool paths on that metal and get it going. So yeah, lots happening. Check this out too. This thing is 180 pounds of 4140 for fixture material that I bought right around the corner from a steel company. And I was like, can you guys please deliver? Because I don't want to put that in my car and you know, hurl it over. So it came on a mini pallet. We have to use, it's heavy, it's huge. I mean, it's small, but it's like really dense. And yeah, so that'll be fixtures and mini tombstones and clamps and all kinds of stuff. I bought quite a bit of stuff, so lots happening, lots going on. All right, I figured I'd just show you guys right from my phone if I can get in nice and close here. Look at that. They turned out so good. So I did that one. That one. So I made 3 different clamps. Yeah, they just turned out super good. Super easy to get out. Easier than I expected. They're slightly different diameters. Ah, crap, they don't fit. They're too big. Oh. Let's get all measurement on us here. Old one is 0.391. That sounds like metric. 10 millimeter. New one is 11 millimeter. Dang it. Not sure what to do. Maybe I'll check the other chair. See, on this chair over here, Angela put down a piece of cardboard that works great, helps. Now that looks the same. Okay. So that works fine. Oh, but it doesn't fit my chair. I'm the one that wanted it. You can see here the remnants from our old shop. Hasn't been cleaned yet. That's like all Falcor hair and oil, machining oil. All right, moment of truth. Yeah, that's pretty fun. It works! I can feel how bumpy the floor is. Uh-oh, I'm gonna crash. That's pretty fun. Crashing into you, Mux. I'll stop. It's nice to have a big shop. Couldn't do this at the old shop, eh? It's time to change it up. Been carrying this one for a while. Let's see here. I was thinking this one, a Damn Steel Norseman number 200, or do I go Southard? I think I'm gonna go with Southard for a little while. Although I like that one. Anyway, check this out. I have a goal. It is June 17th. I have 13 days. I'm gonna sell a Rask in 13 days. I have made, this is how far we are with Rasks. I have made a stack of blades. That's it. There's a lot of work to do. It's a big challenge, but I like a good challenge, and that's gonna be a Rask. That might not be the exact one that sells, like it'll be the first good one, but yeah, I got 2 weeks. I'm gonna sell a Rask. That's huge. There's a lot to do. So let's do it. Come along with me. I lost the momentum. I stopped filming. It's the end of the day already. Okay, check this out. Whoop. That is the touch. That's the tombstone with the handle backside code. Making great progress on that. So as you see there, the handles are starting to be, well, they're fully cut out in that image. And then the handles on the kern are going to turn into that very soon. Now, as I told John Saunders on our podcast this morning, Business of Machining episode 175, I said if I can cut into that titanium today, today's a win. So I'm gonna make some tool paths and do that right now. Today's been a wonderful problem-solving day, letting everybody on the team try to solve their own problems, but sometimes I gotta step in and help. Sky has been beating his head against the Swiss lathe literally all day, making bad parts. He made 136 bad parts because the machine was not cooperating. It was not doing what he thought. He'd do an offset and it wouldn't take, and he'd do it again and he wouldn't take, and he'd do it the opposite way, it wouldn't take, and then he'd do it again and it would way overshoot. So right just a few minutes ago before he went home, you know, I've been kind of guiding him all day, but mostly letting him do his own thing and figure it out. But we kind of figured out that, you know, what are all the variables? What could possibly be wrong? The tightness of the main spindle collet, the collet that grips the material, was, I would say it was tight enough, but it was not as, it's been tighter. And that's something we adjust for every single bar, for every single setup and job and stuff. I would have passed it. I would have thought it was tight enough. We tightened it now, and it seems to be better. The problem seems to have gone away. So I spent the past 30 minutes kind of fine-tuning the last of what he did all day. You know, I get to swoop in and save the day, but that's not the goal. But I think we got to figure it out now, and I'll text him right now with my findings, but I think I'm making good parts right now. Because Eric told me he has 2 spacers left, which is 1 knife's worth. So I think it's running right now. I think it's making good parts, and I'm gonna go check the first 5 or 10 coming off. If it's good, I'm gonna run it all night. I'm gonna load it up with bars. It's gonna still be running in the morning, and we will have hundreds of spacers in the morning. So that's excellent. Yeah, all kinds of little stuff went on today. I don't know. Little stuff, big stuff. I don't know. Let's make a tool path. I want to cut this. I want to cut titanium right now before I go home. Here's another one for you. So Steven, our bearded Canadian who runs the lapping machine and does heat treat, and he's working with Eric in the finishing department a lot now. He laps parts. Let me show you. I told you I would tell you more about this machine eventually. I will eventually. So he's got all these parts, all these handles lapped, ready to go. And up until now, he would take a paper towel and he would wrap the parts, you know, one fold and then fold it, and then another part and then fold it, and then another part, so that it's like a taco of 4, 5, 6 handles, all separated by paper towel. But it's kind of wasteful for paper towels. Of course we'd use them elsewhere, but it ended up just being a lot of paper towels. The guys didn't like it that much. So we have these racks that I made quite a while ago using the foam that we make for our knife cases, thicker. It was really annoying to mill this because, as you see here, it would just flap over and then the tool would catch, and it was annoying. So they like this because it holds the parts really well. But it's overflowing, and the guys aren't super happy with that solution, and Steven is busting his butt on that machine, making excellent production. And it's good to have parts on hand. Like, I'm all for one-piece flow, but sometimes if things are going well, get ahead, do something else. There's a balance there, but he is developing a really good workflow where he can get ahead that doesn't starve anything on this side, and then everybody's happy. So I asked him, you know, instead of me coming in and trying to figure it all out for him, I said, well, what do you want? And he's like, I want a tray like this big with a bunch of slots in it that I can just put parts in. Give me 60 or 100 parts per tray, give me 4 trays, back it with wood on the bottom. And I was like, done, let's do it. I can contact the guy that makes the foam and ask him if he can make that for us. And he's like, that would be so good. So I told him, draw it up for me, make me a sketch. So he's got his notes here, you know, make it 2 feet by 1 foot, give me a bunch of slots here, make them this deep. He actually did a really nice job. Like, not that I'm surprised, I'm just impressed. It's really good. So I took that, I slapped it into Fusion, I sent it to Foam Fit Tools. By the way, Foam Fit Tools, if you're asking where I get this from. Foam Fit Tools. Look it up. Pete there, great guy. I asked him if he can make it for us. I designed it pretty much like this. And he basically said, no. He said, if you make the gaps wider and you make the wall between them wider, he said, we've done that before for the Snap-on Slimline tools or something. And, but he wants to space them out wider and make the walls wider. And I was like, oh, then you're not gonna fit as many parts. But I said, I don't wanna make your life complicated, Pete, so you redesign it how you think is best, give us the best yield for this size, throw me a quote. If it's reasonable, I'll buy 4 to 6 of them. And so I heard back from him a little bit. I'm just waiting for that final price. Hopefully it's not a number that scares me. If so, done, we're ordering it. Figure it out. That way we don't have to machine more of these foams. We don't have to waste another minute thinking about it. Pete will take care of it for us. We will send him a little bit of money, and then a week or 2 from now, package comes in the mail, problem solved. And I'm trying really hard. Saunders and I talked about this on our podcast this morning, and we have for the past few weeks and months. I'm trying really hard to focus my brain on what I'm best at and where I'm critical in the business, which right now is Rask's and many other things, but making and organizing tray is not something I need to be touching right now, and that's okay. Same for organizing collets. Like we also said on the podcast, Saunders, like, there's this guy called colletizer.com. So I made this little foam thing out of Kaizen foam that took me a while to cut out with a razor blade. This dude, Colletizer, makes them from PVC, plastic, something, I forget. But it's like white core, black lid, engraves numbers on it. They're cheap, they're like $20 for this. So I just spent $100 on his store today, and I ordered a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm looking forward to getting that. I was like, I could 3D print a nice solution, it'd be awesome, be modular, whatever. Just, this guy's already figured it out. Why would I reinvent the wheel? I have so many other things to do right now, and it's wonderful, but man, do I gotta focus. Speaking of which, go away, I'm focusing. I have current stuff to do. Still haven't touched the current yet. I don't know if I will tonight. Trying to get the spacers rocking. We need them. I'm at the point now I could leave it for Sky in the morning. I've made some good ones. Like the tweaks we made, tighten the main spindle collet. That seems to have fixed the problem, except now we have other problems. As you'll see here, 136 bad parts, and I've made, what's that, 8 good parts so far, plus these ones I thought they were good, but they're not good. The thread mill that makes the threads just broke. And what's crazy is see if we can see this on the zoom here. Look at how off-center that hole is. That hole is ridiculously off-center. Like, pathetically off-center. Now the funny thing is, the hole is off-center, but the threads are actually bang on center. So when I put the thread gauge, our 440 thread gauge in here, and I'm able to rotate, you know, one or the other, and you would normally see wobble if it's off-center. It's actually dead center. It's perfect. I think because the way I'm thread milling it with the C-axis, it's designed to be on center. The C-axis is rotating around the tool, so it's bound to be on center. The hole, however, goes like this. So when you look under the microscope, the threads are thin on one side and thick on the other side. And then the thread mill just broke on the last part that I was making. And that's bad. So something's up with the drill on the main side. It's possible, let me show you. So this guy right there, see how long it's sticking out? I think maybe, I gotta check here in a second. I had Sky put that drill in, he tightened it, it's all good. I would have probably moved that entire block forward and have not so much stick out, but I didn't ask him to do that and he didn't know to do that, so that's fine. So I'm gonna pull it out. Maybe that tool is only being held on by a little tiny bit, so it's actually just walking a little bit, and that's bad. So I'm gonna loosen it, I'm gonna move it forward and tighten it up again, and then I'm gonna use my little trick to align the XY for that tool on the main. And that should do this. And then I gotta throw in a new single point thread mill here, touch it off, and then I should be back to making parts tonight. I want this thing to run all night. Sky spent all day warming it up. It's nice and hot right now, like literally, like it's warm inside. And it should, like, if I spend the 30 minutes to do this, we'll come back to like 300 parts in the morning, and that's worth it, maybe more. So I pulled the drill bit out. It was held on by this much, which is enough. Like I pinched it, and it was held on by that much when I pulled it out. So that is actually enough. I'm still gonna move it closer and try to finagle this thing a bit better, because it's obviously off center and the offsets are not reflecting that. So something is whack. So looking at the edges of the drill bit under the microscope, they're evenly worn, but as is the case cutting titanium, you don't want to use a worn tool. It's not bad, but I don't know what the limit is where I should run it or stop it. So I'm gonna see if I have a spare. I don't know. This is a through coolant Mitsubishi through coolant drill. We'll see. Hopefully I do. Oh, maybe. Actually, these ones are OSG. I need a knife, but I'm so oily, so I'm just gonna use the drill bit to open up its own package. Yeah, that's the same one. Okay, good. Don't mix them up, John. Yeah, even just looking at them, I can see the shine on the cutting edge of the bad one, the worn out one, whatever. So either the tool is worn out and just going crazy through the hole, or it's off center for some reason, which is not likely because things don't just move, but I'll check that as well. Anyway, I'll explain it to you how I set the XY center of that tool. So I have 1/4 inch material in the main spindle. I have an ER collet on the other side, so I'll put like a 1/4 inch shank or an upside down 1/4 inch end mill or something in that side, and I'll line them up really close, and then I'll take this drill bushing and slide it back and forth between the two rods. This is being the carbide end mill, this being the material, and you can move the XY and get it perfect until the drill bushing slides between them. And it's simple, it's rudimentary, but I've found I can feel it within tenths, within just a few tenths of perfect center, and all within the limits of the ER collet rotational accuracy and concentricity and runout and all that stuff. But it's very close, so that's what I'm gonna do. Alright, so right in here you can see I've got my material. I'm just moving it back and forth. That's my Z-axis. Moving nice up and close to that thing. Got my drill bushing on here. And it does not pass over. It's not far off, but it's off a little bit. So I gotta figure this out and move it. I think it's gotta come just a little bit towards me. and then I'll pass that thing over. So I think I've got it. It's a little bindy somewhere, but it goes across. Look at that. Ugh. It just drips from everywhere. Anyway, so to do that took us 4/10 in X and 1.5 thou in Y. So it's the 1.5 thou that really did it. Not bad. I mean, that's probably not going to cause a drilling problem. Maybe it was just a worn out drill bit. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. Check this out. So I pulled out the collet, and this is the thread milling collet, the broken thread mill right there. That thread mill just makes dust. That is crazy. So I'm just going to clean that off right now, put it back together with a new thread mill, which should be these guys. I need to buy more because I only have 2. Alright, an hour later, I replaced the drill. I actually ended up breaking the spot drill in half because the clearances were wrong and it smashed. Replaced that, replaced the thread mill, touched it off. Finally making good parts. So I made 3, and moment of truth, that hole looks on center. Oh. Thread gauge goes in, feels decent. No go, goes in. Maybe it needs to be a little bit tighter. The threads will get slightly tighter. The lathe's been off for an hour and a half, so it's cooled off a little bit. They will get tighter as it warms up, so that's good. Okay, just check my tolerances. I think we're good to go now. That's finally awesome. And it has been another hour. It's 8:30 at night. I should have gone home 2 hours ago. However, I have 4 tool paths. I'm gonna run on this right now. Yeah, let's do it. So it just asked for a spindle warm-up because it's been like 8 hours since I last did the spindle warm-up, and it needs it. It's probably got a timer or some sort of temperature sensor or something that says, hey, I haven't been warmed up in a while, I haven't been running in a while. So that's okay, it's almost done. 2 minutes left out of a 3-minute cycle. Easy peasy. All right, while it was warming up the spindle, I found the correct rollerblade wheels for my chair on Amazon, and the picture actually said for IKEA chairs only, which is what this is. So, okay. Here we go. Milling that titanium, I'm roughing out the backside of the handles. These handles are really thick, so I got to face them down with the 5 fluid 1/4-inch end mill. Sounds really good. I left 5 thou on the floor, so I roughed down to 5 thou, maybe even 2 thou, I forget. And then I'm going to clean up the floor again to leave a really, really nice finish. Almost done with the one handle. It's going at 53 inches per minute at 5,300 RPM, which is not that fast. Fast feed, not that very high speed. Sounds good, man. Happy so far. Man, I gotta say, at the old shop, we had no windows. And we knew what we were missing, but we didn't know what we were missing. It's, what, 8:50 p.m. right now, middle of June. Hard to see out the window, but it's like the clouds are getting like orange. You know, the sun's just about to go down, be down in about half an hour or whatever, and it's just nice. It's like, oh, there's still a world outside of this building. Just be able to see the trees blowing, you can tell if it's raining or snowing or whatever. It's good. Here's one of the tool paths we're working on right now. I'm clearing out this little lip of material. You can see how close it comes to that clamp. I could come closer, or I could actually make the clamp bigger next time, because I want to grip onto as much material as possible. I wasn't sure exactly how far outward I had to go. If we make our stock transparent and we go on the edge, this might work, it might not, I'm not sure yet. Ah, broken end mill. I can hear it get loud and nasty. I know why. This little 1/8 inch ball is, it's getting put to work, and it's not happy right now. I'm not surprised. I kind of, you know, it's one of those cross your fingers moments. It didn't work. However, the rest of this, oh my goodness! Oh, that's so flat. That feels so good. Wowee! Oh, I like that, I'm happy. Okay, yeah, I was pushing that one. I knew it wouldn't be happy, and it wasn't happy. And I could hear it, I heard it like dink, and then it got louder and angrier. Okay, I'll replace that, I'll tweak the toolpath a little bit. I can do better. Hi, my name's John. I'm gonna sell a Rask in less than 2 weeks, because that's good progress. Googa Mooga. That just looks good. Oh man. Okay, so this is the same pattern as we had before. I think I'll tweak it up and I'll like make it different or something for version 2 here for the current ones, but for now that was the easiest way. Just recreating what we had before was the easiest way for me to get forward. I can play with it later. Let's just proof of concept this thing, which it is proving. Okay, it is time for me to go home. It's 9:23 p.m. Bad John, but good John, because John make progress, and progress is good. So I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna watch a movie with my daughter, and go to bed. I will see you guys tomorrow. Should have some more progress tomorrow. Keep picking away at these handles. Dig into that pallet of steel that I got there. There's a lot of stuff to do, but it's happening. Good.